Hey, welcome back to Sexy T TV. Thank you guys for joining. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe, like, follow, share all the social medias. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to do that. Here on my page, what I've been recently doing is just talking about some vlogging, talking about what's going on in my life and what I'm currently doing. And that is obtaining my MMC. 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 What? MMC. So this is actually like part 4, but I may not name it part 4. But if you're just joining, you want to go back and watch those other 3 videos because I'm coming in hot in the middle. All right. So where we're at and what I've been talking about is me watching all these YouTube videos and seeing all these experiences about people getting their MMC and them out to sea and jobs and different things like that. But I never, ever saw anybody who showed me anything real time. Everything was past tense. And then when I'm observing these videos, they're about 4 to 5 to 6 years old. Before a pandemic. And then even when there were videos after the pandemic, it just kind of was like bland about the application. I'm doing this real time right now with y'all. Right now could be 10 years from now for some of y'all. But right now for me is April of 2022. How you do? And I'm going through the process with you. I have yet to obtain my MMC, but I did this. I've been going through this. You guys are gonna go with me to the rec. We'll figure out what that is. If you don't know what that is, that's where you turn in your actual application. We've discussed how to get the TWIC, the passport, the MMC application. We also went over the med cert, which is the 719K. We also went over the CG719E, which is the semi-med cert. Something if you want to do an entry-level food handler position. And right now, we're going to be going over the CG719C. What the CG719C is, it's actually the disclosure, bam. Disclosure statement for narcotics, DWI, DUI, and or other convictions. Optional form. Keynote, optional. Everything ain't optional though. So I'm gonna tell you why this form says it's optional. And I actually, when I printed all my forms, I didn't even print this form out. You know why? Because I don't have any convictions. I don't have a DUI, I don't have a DWI, I don't have a BBW, I don't have none of that. So BBL, I don't have a CDL, I don't have those things. So all of that I don't have. So I was like, okay, I don't need that. But listening to another YouTuber, it may have been 6 years ago, they said something that made a lot of sense. It was like every form that this application checklist and process have, even if you don't need it, even if it say optional, it could be somewhere where we talked about this in video 3, the declines. We talked about this in video 2. It's option stuff that you can decline, but you need to check it and submit it. You need. If they even if you don't want it, if it's optional, you don't want them to just. What if it's something that's optional and because you didn't check it or do it, now you missing it and you gotta go. It could be like, okay, if the world gets real crazy, and you know y'all, it's got to be first on the scene, transporting some of these oilers and container ships. And would you be willing to go? And optional, you ain't writing nothing. You ain't put nothing. You ain't got nothing to say. You said no. They're gonna be like, we don't have you saying no. We need you here now, and this is where you're going because you already on this ship, and this ship is going here. And we saw you was up here, and we know we don't have no optional form to say you said no. So you mean nothing means yes. So don't get caught up in that. Anything optional, you want to hit decline, or if it doesn't have a decline at the top of any form that says optional on any of these forms dealing with the MMC. Anything that says optional. If you don't see something that says decline, write NA and put no on anything if you don't want to do it. If you do want to do it, fine. Put yes with all the information you want to put. Let them do third party this and third party that. That's your choice. Disclaimer, that is your choice. I'm not making any choice for anyone. I'm just telling you what I know, what I did, and what should be done if you're going to be declining these things. You don't want to just leave it up into anyone's hands, okay? So we're going back to the disclosure statement. So with the disclosure statement, it is basically a form that piggybacks off of something that was on your 719B. So I do have that form in front of me, okay? So this is your 71, CG means Coast Guard. So I'm gonna just be saying numbers, easy for me. 719B, this is your main application you're gonna be filling out to obtain your MMC. Then there's another form, I don't have this printed out. I have it, mine filled out, it's upstairs. I should have brought it, but you're not gonna be able to see this. Of course you're not, but that is kind of what it looked like. Remember I told you all the forms basically look the same, but you just have to really look and make sure you can see that what it's saying. So it's going to say here 719 C. So it's piggybacking off of this form. And what it's piggybacking is in section 3 of 719B, your MMC application. In section 3, question 2, it asks you about your criminal record. Remember we were talking about this in video 2? It asks you about your criminal record, and it's places where you needed to put yes or no. Anything that you put yes to, meaning have you ever been addicted to drugs? Have you ever killed anybody while driving? Have you ever had a reckless driving? Have you ever failed a drug test in the last 10 years? Anything you put yes to is where this form 719 C comes in play. But this form comes into play anyway. But with 719C, what I mean by what comes into play is where you write what happened. It's basically telling you just that. But with 719B, if you had all no's, you would think, well, I did. I don't know. Y'all might be smart to me. I don't. I was like, everything's no, so I don't need that. I was incorrect. You need this form. You know what you need it for? You need it because it says it needs to be a part of your packet. So you do this form, you print it out. First page is basically telling you all what you do, how you fill out the form. Like all of the rest of the forms had an informational page. Same thing. Page 2, you just want to do like you did on every other application. You put your name, your date of birth. If you're a junior, put your junior. If you're not, put NA. Remember, NA is your best friend. You put your social. You don't have a reference number. That's for your reference number. What do you put there? NA. You put NA there. Then it asks in section 2, conviction and or drug disclosure. Please print. So this is where, if you're like me and you don't have any convictions or anything, this is where I said, I'm just gonna not write nothing. No, put NA. Put NA. Even though it says dangerous drugs use details. NA. Put it right off the bat. Number 5, type of drug. There was no drug, NA. Month of year. There was no month of year, NA. Then it says conviction details, conviction 1, 2, and 3. NA, 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 NA it all. And then the most important part is section 3 on page 2. It's only 2 pages. One of the quickest forms out of this whole thing. That's where you sign. And you're acknowledging that everything you said up here is true. Meaning, if you had some convictions, you're putting, well, yeah, I had got a reckless driving, and I had hit my baby daddy, and he charges dropped, and 1841, I don't know, 1984, whatever. You're going to put that date in the city and the county, and their findings and the conclusion. They dropped to a misdemeanor. You just put it. It's going to pop up, honey. I don't care what you think. It's going to pop up. Just put it. You'd rather be there and they know about it, and if it's not that bad, they're going to get over it. Now, if this is the way you ran somebody over and they did not make it and you got manslaughter, I don't even think you should be filling out this application, to be honest with you, because it's 9 times out of 10, I don't think you would be accepted. Disclaimer, I don't know all the rules, I don't know, but anything that you think that may pop up that's minor or big, if you really saying, forget it, I'm going to pay this money and try this anyway, put it versus not, because if they find it out, you're out anyway. So that's it. That's basically 719C in a nutshell, but you do want to do it. I watched a lot of YouTube videos and a lot to where I'm now doing them. Yeah. And nobody talked about this form. This 719C is very important because it's either this way or it's either that way. Either you have nothing and you're thinking, I don't need that. What do I need that form for? You still need to put it. If anything this thing tells you to put it. Why prolong the situation? What's going to basically happen? You're going to get kicked back and you got 60 days to obtain and get what needs to be done. And then you probably got to get back in line to whatever line it is. Remember, we post-pandemic. I don't know how long this is going to take. But we wanted to make everything go right and get it through now. We don't want no problems, okay? So then if you're on the other side of the fence where there was some things you checked yes to and there was some convictions, just be frank about it because they're going to pull it up anyway. And then it could be where it was something very minor over 30 years ago and it doesn't even affect you. But just to see that you're honest about it, that it happened and that you indicated it, they can say, let's say you put yes on something and they weren't even, it didn't even really matter. It didn't matter. But then they coordinate and they say, okay, they got yes. Let me just see if they got the 719C. Boom, yes, boom, it's here, boom, don't even matter. But if you put yes and they see you don't got this form, you screwed. Or let's say they pull your stuff, you put yes and something popped out and it was a red flag and they went to go look for your 719C in the system and they see it and that you wrote it and everything's up to date and you follow me. Everything wants to be aligned. You want to have everything aligned. You don't want no kickbacks. No kickbacks over here. So any questions? Any comments? Any help? Maybe you can help me. Maybe it's something I may be missing that you know. Or like, oh yeah. Comment. Subscribe. Follow my social media. Holla at me. It may be years before people see these videos. I'm gonna leave them. I may be dead and gone. You know what I mean? But at least I know that you know that we help somebody. You know what I'm saying? So still comment, cause yeah, if I see it, I'm gonna, I address it. So we're gonna end this video. And remember, this is video 4 for me of my daily vlogs. I still ain't got no intro. I still ain't got no extra no sound effects, none of that. This is just raw, uncut. Y'all say I don't be having no makeup on, none of that. None of that. Very, very, very simple, very, 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 very basic right now. And eventually when I get in that ship life, it's gonna be the same way. So I'm just showing y'all raw, and cut and who I am. And I just wanna help y'all. So follow, like, subscribe, share, all of that above. Thank y'all again for watching Sexy TV. Until next time.